Hello? I know, I caught you by surprise, right? I know. You're the one that paid the cover charge. And you're not ready? Okay. Here, I'm going to give you your money back. Breaking up big rocks on the chain gang. Breaking rocks and serving my time. Breaking up big rocks on the chain gang. 'Cause a big convicted of crime. Well, hold it steady right there while I hit it. Oh, there I reckon that to get it. I've been working. Yeah. And working, but I still got so terrible long to go. No, I'm not ready. I committed crime, Lord, and evil. Crime of being hungry and poor. Left a ghost of stone man a bleeding when he caught me robbing his store.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's December 1st. Welcome to the Duncan Showroom. Who is that wild man? And we are here for number 22. Number 22 of Eugene's Travels and Tales. And Carol Gordon's out there already. Says, hi, Gene. Love that song.
Yeah, Kay.
She was singing
Carol.
along. She was singing along. How you doing this afternoon, my friend?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing really, really fine. I just you gave me this album. You found it over there somewhere. But I just want to show everybody. You can find all kinds of artifacts at the showroom here. And this album, for anybody who remembers this man, this is an album of Sweet Daddy Siki.
Oh, yeah.
Playing guitar and
great.
singing. That's Sweet Daddy Siki. I don't know if it's coming up there or not.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it is. And it's I met him a couple of times in Toronto back in the 70s, and used to watch him on television when he used to wrestle with Whipper Billy Watson and people like that.
Nice tight close-up.
Little Beaver and Sky High Lee. Anyways, I just thought I'd show you that album because, like I say, you can find lots of little interesting things here at the showroom, John's collection of collections.
What a great wrestling hero he was to us as a kid.
Yeah.
Too. Good name and good persona. Was he one of the earliest men of color in wrestling?
I
Like in
guess,
professional wrestling?
probably so. I think so. Well, most famous one I know.
The most
anyway.
famous one, yeah.
He was around with Gorgeous George
Right.
and yeah. So I just thought I'd show that to everybody out there today. Hi, everybody.
Hello. Hello in Internet land. And yes, we're into December of 2020 and very exciting. We've got some good guests lined up. We've got Malachi coming up next week.
Mm-hmm.
And a local bluesman, slack key Hawaiian guitar stylist and singer-songwriter Don Wilkie on December 22nd.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
We had to get him before he went out to sea.
He goes to sea and he cooks for the boys on the Coast Guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a dual life. Very good life, I think. Nice.
Yeah. So, what time is it now?
What's you been? We've been digging up some old songs. The time. Well, we've never referred to the time before. Hold on.
No, I have
It's
to.
5:05.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm here.
We got time.
I was just wondering if I made it for the show.
You did. You did. You made it on time.
So everybody's in lockdown around here now, so staying at home as much as possible over the Christmas holidays. I talked to my son for the first time in a while. I haven't seen my family up in Royston since February.
That's got to hurt a little. I know you're really close to the gang there.
Yeah, so anyways, it's different, that's for sure.
Yes.
But you know what I noticed? I noticed I was watching a football game yesterday, and I was noticing, you know how the coaches always hold up the boards to their mouths so the lip readers can't see what they're saying, what the next plays are and stuff, like you've seen.
Clipboard diversion.
Yeah, they always hold, well, they don't have to do that now because they're all wearing masks.
Yeah. You can't read those lips.
So you can't read those lips, period. Their whole face is covered up now.
That's good, eh?
Yeah. So I guess maybe they appreciate it to some degree because they don't have to be holding up a clipboard to their face.
Oh, yeah.
With the plays,
Yeah, I think they should have more hand signals like baseball. That would be more exciting. Like, they would the quarterback would look over. Maybe they do. But, that's such an exciting part of baseball. They could employ that in football.
Yeah. So I guess I can start off today. I had a request from last week, which I didn't get in. Somebody asked me to do something.
And it wasn't even me.
And it was
My favorite song ever.
And it wasn't you, no. So I'll do this song again, and for people who haven't heard it, and for people who have, such as myself, Billy, Tim, Carol, Victoria, who's ever out there in internet land tonight. It's called A Piece of Wood. When I was just a youngster, the Pied Piper was one of my heroes. Elders scorned him, but children adored him. He was real folk. Well, he flute along on his flute all day long. When the rodents hit the town, he just smiled, said no problem. He was just the man doing what he could. Drove them rats to the sea with just a piece of wood. Yeah, yeah. Now somewhere along the line, I heard me a woman named Joan of Arc. Well, they condemned her to death. They said she was a witch, a demon of the dark. She led her armies in a battle. 'Cause of her visions they won. Well, life was ended just as quickly as it had begun. She was just a woman doing what she could. A saint was born with a flame and a piece of wood. Yeah, 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 hell yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. When I was just a youngster, the Pied Piper was one of my heroes. All right. Elders scorned him, but children adored him. He was real folk. Well, he flew along on his flute all day long. When the rodents hit the town, he just smiled, said no problem, no. He was just a man doing what he could. Drove them rats to the sea with just a piece of wood. Oh, yes he did. He did, and she did. Just a piece of wood. She did. They both did.
Hey, ripping off the vinyl on that one. Whoa. That was just smoking, man. I like the way you're still evolving that over the years, too. It's just little changes that I noticed.
Little change, yeah. You know.
That's art and progress, my friend. I, like Joan of Arc, had a vision while you were playing that. And, I think we should make this happen because I thought that's a perfect song for an illustrator to take and, make one of those, like a cartoon illustration of the story with the song on a DVD. And it's also a book. So this is another way we're going to make you famous and rich. Wow, it's such a great story, and I can totally see it in that format, with a book and then the movement and the illustration of the characters. And
yeah,
who out there is going to do it for us? I don't know.
Yeah,
we need.
Well, Billy, you were saying something about doing putting in a verse with a hockey player.
Well,
with a stick of wood, a piece of wood.
You laughed at that idea.
I know. Well, you never know. Because when I was just a youngster, Gordie Howe was one of my heroes.
I think if it's true to you, it could work. It's got to be true to you, of course.
Yeah.
Ab Unsen, one powerful song. Hi and thanks from Pat and Bill and T.O.
Oh, Pat and Bill. Hello, hello.
Oh, he's just signed in under a different name because he usually signed in under Pat and Bill and Bill. Hi, Pat and Bill. Yeah, definitely a great song. I remember being humbled because I actually took a lesson from JJ so I could cover that song, and I tried it a couple times in public. And then you came down to the jam and you played it, and I thought, Bill, you should never try that song again. Some things best left undone.
Actually, there was a group in Toronto called the Nationals, and when they came out with their first album, they recorded that song.
They did. Oh,
yeah.
Be interesting to hear their. Probably not nearly as good, but what did you think of it?
Well, it was good. Yeah, I have. I think I still have the version, a copy of it at home, if I'm not mistaken.
With your vinyls.
Yeah, with
nice.
the vinyls. Yeah.
Victoria says that song just keeps getting better and better. We're in agreement on that one.
Victoria.
Thanks, Victoria. So what do you?
Braden, wait, 1 sec. Braden Gates is watching on the Facebook, and he made all kinds of smiley, lovey faces. I think Braden's in love.
And I sure appreciate.
We are too, Braden.
Braden's songwriting.
How you doing,
man.
buddy?
I checked him out after you mentioned him last week. Good stuff.
Oh, good. Well, what am I going to talk about today, Billy?
What the heck are you going to talk about? I think you've been working it up.
I've been working on
mind?
it, and I, you know, it's really interesting because I sit at home, or sometimes I'll just go to sleep and I'll start thinking about what I'm going to talk about for the next week. I mean, you're doing 21, 22 shows. I mean, oh my God, we're getting up there with David Letterman and
We're soon going to have a package worth syndicating. That's what I'm thinking.
Really.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking I'd try and do a story. Something I thought about was, now I want the women out there to realize that I'm not a chauvinist when I tell you this story.
Hell no.
No, I'm not being chauvinistic or anything like this. This was back in the '60s now, so you have to remember. And as teenagers, when we went out on the road, well, I'll start with Ronnie Hawkins, because Ronnie, just to give you an idea of what I'm going to talk about, Ronnie would say to us whenever we were going on the road to play in out of Toronto, that the wives and girlfriends were not allowed to come along. And we're just young guys, so we had no idea. Boys, he'd say, no women, you can't bring the wives and girlfriends, there'll be trouble, and there'll be nothing but trouble. You bring them. So we listened to him I was with him for 5 years, so we listened to him for about maybe the first 2 years of him saying that, maybe even 3, but I'm not sure how long. But anyways, one time, there were a couple of guys in the band that were married, and they wanted to bring their wives to this gig that we were doing every Sunday in St. Thomas. And because there was a beach area there apparently or something, and they could go and lie on the beach. But anyways, Ronnie said, boys, I don't think it's a good thing for you to bring the wives and girlfriends. The wives will be trouble. Anyways, they argued with him and kept it up, and so finally he said, okay. So he let them, so they were allowed to bring their wives. Well, I have to admit, Ronnie was right. Because when we got to the gig to do the gig, the drummer and his wife had a big argument. And so when he got up to play, he was like bashing through songs. He was so upset, you know what I mean? And then we started to understand why Ronnie was saying that. So having said that, I moved to BC in the 70s. 45 years ago, I moved to Port Moody. And I started up a band eventually. And so then one time this agent called, and he actually gave us a gig over here on Vancouver Island. And we played in Port Alberni. We played Victoria. And we didn't play Duncan. But I remember going to Port Alberni because we were playing at on the reservation there. We were playing for the natives and that with Buffy St. Marie.
Oh, wow.
She was the headliner.
Wow.
So we get on. So then the guys in the band all decided that they wanted to bring the wives and the girlfriends. And from my experience. My experience with Ronnie and him I went, oh my God, I can tell there's going to be trouble. Now we got to take a ferry and everything else, and then we're caravanning. We had like 3 or 4 vehicles, you know, and so anyways, we get to. I said, no, guys. I said, listen. I said, just from past experience, I said it's not going to work, and we're going to be over on the island for at least 3-4 days, you know. I said, please, let's just go as a band and leave it at that. And no. Okay. I said, okay. So we drive down to the ferry in Nanaimo. In Horseshoe Bay. And we're not even, and we get on the ferry, and we haven't even left the dock yet. And here comes the bass player, and he's all upset because him and his wife had an argument. And she's at one end of the ferry, and he's at the other end.
Are
of the ferry. And I went, oh my God, here we go, you know. So we get over here, and one by one, and I'm not kidding you, I'm not shitting you when I say one by one, each member of the band who was with a girlfriend or a wife, by the time we got to the gig, there was arguments and fighting going on, even afterwards, you know. And it was like, I'm not enjoying this. So here we are driving down the highway, and the lady that I was with at the time, I could sense it coming. I don't know, I could just feel it, because it had gone right down the line, and I was the last one, right? And it hadn't happened to. And I could feel it, and she turned to me to say something, and I could see it and I went, don't. I said, please, don't start. I said, don't start. I said, well, I want to enjoy the rest of this trip. And so she didn't. But anyways, so Ronnie's words were really, really true. But that's the way it was back in the 60s, you know, like with the bands, you know, they'd always go out on the road. And it was mostly guy bands, you know. There weren't very many female bands at that time. Yeah. And so anyways, now I'll move up into the 80s.
And just to be clear, we're not blaming the ladies.
No,
it's just couples, isn't it?
It was just couples.
And band life.
Yeah, you know, just living their lives. But they take it on the road with them, and it was really, I mean, it's not, I'll tell you how devastating it was for me. When I got back, I mean, I was able to get through that, but when I got back to Toronto in the 80s, came back in the late 70s, and then in the 80s I was asked to be a guest up at a club that was in a ritzy hotel up on Don Valley Parkway. I can't remember which one it was, but anyways, the people that asked me to be a guest that for the Friday and Saturday they were a husband and wife team, and the wife, she was the singer of the band, and the husband, he played guitar. I mean, he was the leader. So I rehearsed with them, with the band, and then on a Wednesday or something like that, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, so now I go up to do the first night. And wouldn't you know it, the two of them, the husband and the wife, had a great big row at home before they got to the gig. And on the way in the car, they were screaming and hollering at each other. And when they called me up on stage, they were still upset with each other. And you could cut the hatred and the vibe with a knife. It was so thick. And the music was sounding terrible because they were so upset on stage. I couldn't believe it. They brought it to the stage, you know. And I could never figure that out. It was like, it's okay nowadays. I mean, it doesn't matter now, but that was back then. Did you ever experience that, Billy?
Well, yeah, I was on the bad end of it once. I took a famous friend of mine to a Porsche convention in a broken down Firefly, and man, he never got called back to that gig, and I feel like a bit of a doofus, but you know, that's the way it was.
Oh, thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm going to tell one secret. I remember when we were standing in the room and we both had our sides, and you went, "Don't tell how nice this room is, Bill."
Heated floors and everything.
Heated floors of the bathroom, man.
That's the place where I got fired for reciting my playing. What song was it I did again?
It was the watermelon, of course.
No.
Strawberries, sorry.
Strawberry tune.
Watermelon.
The watermelon. It was a strawberry tune.
And you still had the put him on your girlfriend part in there.
Yeah, when I said I put him on my girlfriend and everything, the bartender came to me and told me that, well, she didn't tell me, actually. She told the manager, and then the manager came and told me that some people were offended by me saying that, and so we were never asked back there again.
Well, if you'd driven up in a better car, I think it would have been better. Not the Firefly that died in the parking lot and needed a boost.
Well, yeah, when you go
Yeah.
to a Porsche convention where they got this beautiful Porsche.
I know.
Remember the Porsche in the foyer? Remember?
What was the one? And you'd had a similar model. It was.
Yeah, I
the,
bought one. I got it from Ronnie. It was a 1960 Porsche.
convertible.
No, it wasn't a convertible.
It wasn't a convertible.
No. It was like driving a little teardrop.
Right.
Right. Really fast.
It had Jaguar-like lines to it, didn't it? That one.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So, anyways, I hope, like you were saying, like we're not saying anything against the lady, but that was just the way it was. Now, you have to remember, too, now I'm not sure whether this is true or not, but I think that one of the things that happened with the Beatles was when John Lennon brought Okoyono into the recording
Yoko Ono?
studio. Yoko Ono.
Yoko Ono.
Yoko Ono. Anyways, when he brought her into the studio, which was a no-no, remember? Because nobody was supposed to come into the studio.
Right.
And he brought her into the studio, and that really upset the guys in the band, the rest of the guys in the band. So, and that's the way it was, It was during the 60s. It was like that. Didn't mean any harm, but that's just the way it was.
Just the way it was.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure it's happened for female artists and having boyfriends along, and I'm sure it's quite similar. You definitely see some bands where it's like a family and they run it that way, but that's tricky. Gotta be tricky.
Oh yeah, that's a different story altogether.
So, what? Just before you do your song, was there a little side story about Buffy? Was that the only time you met her in Port Alberni?
Well, actually, I didn't really get to meet her. What happened was, we were there for 2 days, and what happened was the last day we opened up for her and with a bunch of other acts. We were the last act to go on before her, and so now we're downstairs underneath the stage. That's where they had the dressing room, was underneath the stage. And all of a sudden, and she's supposed to be going on, and next thing you know, they turned on all the lights down underneath the stage. It was like pitch black, pitchness, and we never did. She was in the room with us, but we didn't know where she was.
Oh.
We couldn't see anything. And then all of a sudden, Buffy St. Marie. And next thing you know, the lights go on the stage up top, and there she is. It was like magic. It was like magic,
She is a powerful lady.
Yeah, but it was really good. But I never got to meet her, but she sounded really good, like Buffy St. Marie, and yeah, it was very good, very, very good. It was the first time I ever had smoked salmon.
First time, really?
Well, like with the natives,
Oh, the real thing.
Yeah, the real deal. Like, it was like, whoa, this is unbelievable.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Now, Victoria did chime in and say, I myself am an excellent roadie, so we've got to give her kudos.
Yes, Victoria's an excellent roadie.
I'm sure you two have had to travel to gigs together in Ontario, and it probably was fine.
Well,
Better than fine. Well,
well, yeah.
Well.
No, it's been fine. I'm just kidding.
yes.
We also have Cheryl Savage sending her love from Nova Scotia.
Cheryl, she's all the way in Nova Scotia?
Yeah, I've been there for a month apparently.
Oh, hi, Cheryl.
Lara's on there too, but Lara's not talking to us. She's talking to Cheryl.
Oh, well, wait a minute. Lara. Hi, Cheryl. I hope you're well.
Okay, anybody else?
No, there was just Carol and Victoria saying hi back and forth.
Okay.
You'll have to grab their attention once again.
No, it's okay. Let them talk.
The girls are talking.
Let them catch up.
Yeah.
But we're getting close to Christmas, that's for sure, eh, Billy? We're into December now, so.
I try not to think about it, but it's a blessed season, and I'm glad we're gonna be still here. We're gonna miss Tim for a couple of shows.
Yes.
And we're impressing on John to stay open. So thank you to Longevity John. I'm sure he'll be doing some of his neat things that he does for people around Christmas time. The open house. Well, I guess we can't maybe do that, can we, John?
We have a big toilet paper collection too. I think I don't know if it's still going on, but every year we collect toilet paper and give it to the
That is a great show, and we're still doing a
pass it
show,
out.
right? Is that after you've
Yeah,
gone?
we usually do a show. It's a benefit, and we tell everyone bring in toilet paper. And
Bring
then
the
we
toilet
get a whole,
paper.
last year, I think we got something like 1,200 rolls or something that we just donated to the shelter or the.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Do we have a date on that, Ted?
Probably I don't have it in front of me.
Probably I've forgotten as well.
I think I remember hearing about it, and we have it every year. I'm not sure with the things this year how that'll work because it involves a lot of people coming and going from the building. So maybe they can just drive by and chuck it at us from the
Throw
car
the
or
toilet
something.
paper in its package.
You can
of
look
course.
on our schedule on showroomproductions.ca. It'll tell you when it is, I think.
Thank you.
Okay, well, we're getting close to a half hour goes by real quick, eh?
It flew by today.
So,
Oh, here we go. Long John just piped up. Gathering of toilet paper is December 20th from
2 to 10?
2 to 10 p.m. Yeah.
So we'll have time to distance the acts the way you guys were doing during 39 days?
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
sure,
probably,
yeah.
we probably won't have any kind of crowd in here. It'll
Thanks,
just
John.
Be, and everyone will be very, very spaced apart, and each artist will be outside of the room before they play, and then we'll swap them over and
Nice.
swap out the mics and all that stuff. Something like that. I'll still be here for that one, so
Oh, good. Yeah.
I
Lots
got
of TP.
lots of TP.
Lots of TP coming your way.
Oh, that's what that is. That's what somebody said something about Halloween, and if you do trick or treat, and they're going to TP their house.
Oh, you'd forgotten that
Dude,
tradition?
you made it this far in life without knowing TPing?
Is that what it is? Toilet paper?
Yeah, toilet paper, TP, man.
Toilet paper the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I just found out what foobar means. So
Oh,
hey.
my gosh, Gene. You're really... Well, so many things to discover, eh? What decade are you in now?
Foobar and TB.
Foobar and TP.
Okay. I hope I can remember this one. Called Sippin' Margaritas. Come on, people, the time is right. We're gonna go out now, party tonight. We'll get with the sound, we'll get with the beat. We'll feel the feeling down to our feet. Well, we'll dance the night away, you and me, we will. We will. Well, we'll see the feelings in our hearts and our soul. We will. Mama's got a plan. Sit down, Papa, understand. She wants to go someplace that's hot. You're gonna go along, you like it a lot. Well, we'll wiggle our toes in the sand by the sea, you and me. We will. Well, we'll feel the feelings in our hearts and in our soul. We will. Oh, it'll be so good for you. Oh, it'll be so good for me when we're sipping margarita down by the sea. Sipping margarita, you and me. Sipping margaritas down by the sea. Sipping margarita. Hey, 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 hey. Come on, people, the time is right. We're gonna go out now, party tonight. We'll get with the sound, we'll get with the beat. We'll feel the feeling down to our feet. Well, we'll dance the night away, you and me, we will. We will. hands, in our hearts, and in our soul. We will. Oh, it'll be so good for you. Oh, it'll be so good for me when we're sipping margarita down by the sea. Sipping margarita, you and me. Sipping margaritas down by the sea. Sipping margarita, hey, 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 hey.
Oh, dancing excitement! Whoa! Holy moly! Well, Gene, it just reminds me that a dance tune like that, you make it almost just as exciting doing it solo as you do with a band. So that's pretty good accolade. I was remembering, it made me think of the maybe the one and only time you did a Saturday night at the folk festival, because you were often not around. But with members of the Valiants, and that was an exciting evening. I remember how much fun it was to see up there with a band and the crowd dancing, and it was a lot of fun.
I don't get a chance to play with the band as much as I used to. Well, I'm not talking about this year, but just in the past or whatever. Just a few. Well, the last band I actually had was Eugene Smith and the White Boys.
I love that name, and people would react to it. I thought that was a great name. J.J. Charlebois, Donnie McGillivray, and
Thomas Kinsel.
Thomas Kinsel. Sorry, his name dropped out of my head there for a minute. And Phil Nunes, but Thomas was really the one who fit like a glove, didn't he?
Yeah.
I got to read a couple of notes here. Scotty Owen says, "Sounds good, boys."
Hey, Scott.
Hi, Scott.
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on,
How
man?
come you didn't call me, man?
Hi, Scott.
Apparently you haven't called him back, Scott.
I did call. Check your messages.
Nancy Fee, I wish I was sipping margaritas down by the sea right now. Yes. Don't we all, Nancy? Well, there you go, some excitement. And, we hope to see you back doing band work. I know it's tricky in this day and age, certainly post-COVID, but...
yeah, it is kind of tricky, so... But anyways, it'll come again, I'm sure. Even just to go into... I've been thinking about going into the studio again and doing some more recording, so...
Nice.
I'll probably might do that maybe next year in the beginning of the year.
Right.
And do some songs. And next week, who do we have?
We have Malachi next week.
That's right.
That's right. Internet star now that James Taylor's onto him. So that'll be kind of exciting. He's, how many years, had done 4 years here since he was
4 years. He started at
younger.
7. He's 11 now.
I started at 7. Wow.
He's a treat, folks. You got to catch him.
Yeah, that'll be very exciting. And then 2 weeks from that, Don Wilkie.
Don Wilkie, yes.
Yeah. And in between, just you and I, brother.
Oh, God, can they stand it?
Yeah. Imagine that.
It's funny, Billy, that you and I should be working together like this.
What's so funny about it?
Well, I don't know. It's just, no, I don't mean funny,
No,
ha, ha, ha.
No.
Funny like this milk smells funny?
Oh, Ted.
Who was that masked man?
So we interrupted you. What's funny about it?
No. It's just that we became friends, and then you're in theater, and I'm on the stage. Both of us have been on the stage. You know what I mean? You do your theater trips and your music trips too. Were you writing songs for a while?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm still writing a bit. I was writing for quite a while, and John gave me amazing opening gigs. People like Black and the Rodeo Kings, Ian Tamblyn, Joe Hall, Willie P. Bennett. And I think, I fell off it. As he reminds me, I put more of my energy into theater.
Yeah.
So it's hard to do both well, for sure. And, I think I like the team sport. I see what you do. I see, how much hard work and perseverance that takes. And perhaps I wouldn't say lazy.
You mean just perform? Well,
being a solo act, yeah.
I remember you coming to me when we first met, and I told you that the most important thing about a song when you're writing a song is the beginning and the end.
I used to refer to that line. Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Do you remember? Because you didn't have any endings.
I was a crappy ender.
There weren't any endings. Well, your ending was just It was just some notes going off, and that would be it. And that was the ending
Which
of the
looked
song.
like my brain and wasn't that appealing. Huh?
And then a few months later, I heard you play, and you'd picked up on the endings.
Well, there you go. In fact, I think 2 of my best gigs, you were playing with me at the garage, the original garage, and James Pett was on guitar.
Mm-hmm.
We had Warren DeMilo on drums, and do we have a bass player? I don't think so. Jay played, but for me, that was a reminder that having professionals like you and Jim can really elevate songs, and it was probably one of the most exciting times that I played, really.
Yeah, well, your tunes sounded much better with the endings, especially. They
did.
Well, I told you. I said, how are people going to know when they're supposed to clap?
It was such a good point, and you were quite right. Yeah, that's right. Oh, he's staring funny. He's not doing anything. Maybe the song's over.
Yeah.
No. Very good advice. Very good.
Now
advice.
I have played with some musicians that when the ending comes, they're still playing.
Oh, I noticed those guys.
The rest
of
the band stops, but they're still playing.
Well, I was going to say how brave it is to, when you go down to do the blues jam in Nanaimo, and sometimes you'll get a good band, and sometimes the players aren't quite up to
speed.
So that's tricky to still pull off the song well. Yeah.
Well, listen, Billy, I think that's about it, eh?
That's about it.
We went a little bit over tonight, but hey, we can do that. We don't have to worry about sponsors.
We have flexibility.
We
That's
have
right.
flexibility here.
Yeah.
Good night, folks.
Didn't you write a song called Flexibility? I got. No, that was your ending song. What was that? It was
Personality.
Personality, right. He's got flexible personality, folks.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Eugene. And we always thank Longevity John and Dr. Ted, and sometimes forget to thank Georgia and Trevor. So all those who put their efforts in here at the showroom, thank you very much. And thank you to out there in internet land. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye now.
Bye now. Adios, amigo. Breaking up big rocks on the chain gang. Breaking rocks and serving. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm serving mine. All right. All right. That was for the ladies. There you go.